All right. Shalom, Yasharala. Before we get started, we don't give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone, the teacher of Ruel. Peace and salutations to the whole four elect. Betting on the video and the lesson. And it's going to be in the news. Things happening around the world. All right. And it's a lot going on. The beast system is coming into play. All right. The new world, they're setting up these elite bankers. Esau is setting up his new world order, and he's moving quickly. I'll say that, But we know it's on the Lord's time. But Esau is we know the Lord is moving quickly, and Esau is being used to implement the Lord's plan. I'm gonna first start with this one because this one caught my attention. This from Yahoo. And this has been circling around the internet. It says every new car could become a surveillance machine by 2027, and it may decide if you can drive. It says this isn't some distant concept or experimental feature that might show up years from now. By 2027, every new car sold in the United States could be required to actively monitor the person behind the wheel. That means watching your eyes, tracking your behavior, and constantly evaluating whether you're alert enough to drive. For a lot of drivers, that starts to feel like less safety. Salakia. For a lot of drivers, that starts to feel less like safety and more like surveillance. And that's the key. They want surveillance. They want to keep an eye on the people. That's why they're getting all these cameras, AI, different things to watch you. They're turning the America into a surveillance country, right? And the part that's catching people off guard is how much control these systems could actually have. Tucked into a broader federal safety initiative is a requirement for impaired driving detection technology in all new vehicles. The goal sounds simple enough: reduce crashes caused by drunk or fatigued drivers. It's a problem that has been around for decades, and lawmakers are trying to address it with new technology. To do that, automakers will need to install systems that monitor drivers in real time. These systems rely on cameras and sensors that track things like eye movement, head position, and overall attentiveness. It's not just observing, it's constantly analyzing what the driver is doing. This is where the conversation starts to shift. If the system detects what it believes is impairment, it doesn't just issue a warning and move on. In some cases, it could prevent the vehicle from starting or limit how it operates once you're already driving. That means the car itself becomes the decision maker, not the person in the driver's seat. For many drivers, that raises immediate concerns. It introduces a scenario where a machine decides whether you're allowed to use something you own based on its interpretation of your behavior. And this is, part of their, because they really want to get rid of gas-powered cars. This is just a step, if because they're going to implement this into all vehicles, and then they're going to get rid of gas-powered cars. Gas already is high. Then they're going to introduce electrical vehicles. If they're going to introduce electrical vehicles, you get an electrical vehicle, and they put this into your vehicle probably won't start, can't go nowhere. This is all about control, surveillance and control. This was all about, and we've been saying this since, starting with the apostles, elders on down. They've been saying this. They've been telling you this, and it's finally coming into reality. You see, look at this. This is from. Ads out the way. This is from End Time Headlines. It says, AI models now outperforming doctors at diagnosing patients in ER. According to an NPR report, researchers found that an advanced AI reasoning model from OpenAI significantly outperform experienced physicians in diagnosing patients and guiding care decisions using real world emergency department data. In a compelling example from the study, a patient arrived at the hospital with a pulmonary embolism, if I said that right. After initial improvement, symptoms worsened, leading the medical team to question the effectiveness of treatment. The AI, analyzing electronic health records, correctly identified an underlying history of lupus causing heart inflammation as the true issue. Published Thursday in the journal Science from the study from Harvard Medical School and Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center in Boston tested the OpenAI model against doctors on real cases from the hospital's emergency department. Researchers evaluated the AI's performance at key stages: triage upon arrival, during evaluation, and at the hospital admission decisions. The model matched or surpassed two experienced internal medicine physicians, relying solely on the limited, messy real-world data available to clinics. I'm trying to say this word. Messy real-world data available to clinicians at these moments, if I said that right. It says, "This is the big conclusion for me. It works for the messy real-world data of the emergency department," said Dr. Adam Rotman, a clinical researcher at Beth Israel and study author. "It works for making diagnoses in the real world." So soon, you're going to have AI as your doctor. You may still have human doctors around, but AI is going to really be more in control, because they say they can diagnose quicker. This is all a part of Esau's. This is the left-handed side of Esau. All right, this is Revelation. Let me see. Nope. This is Revelation. Let me see. 12:7. "And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels, right, fought against the dragon." Who's the dragon? All right, the dragon is Esau, Edom. And this is verse 3 of Revelation 12. "And there appeared another wonder in heaven. And behold, a great red dragon, having 7 horns and 10 heads, and 7 crowns upon his head." This is Esau, Edom. Okay. It says, "And the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven." And the dragon and his angels, Esau's angels is this technology that they have, AI. All right, different surveillance, AI robots, robot dogs. Their science, their technology. These are their angels on the left hand side. The satellites, that can surveil you. I was watching a movie last night called Enemy of State, and Will Smith is in this movie, and my phone D&D, and he was in this movie, and he was being tracked because you gotta. I can't really summarize the movie, but you gotta watch it on your own. He was being tracked. They knew they had trackers in his shoe. They was pinging his phone to this location. They turn off his credit cards. This is the reality that's gonna this is gonna come to reality soon. They're gonna do the same thing to the people of the world, even us. They're gonna do the same thing. Cause why? Cause it's all about control. These people, they want to play the role of the Heavenly Father on the earth, which they are God on the, not saying in that sense, but they have power, right? They have the money. What is it? Ezekiel 28. And matter of fact, let's read this. Ezekiel 28:2 says, "Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus," right? "Thus said the Lord God, Yahweh, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God. I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas." Now the seas, they actually control the sea routes, control the waters. Think back to 2020. These people shut down the whole world. They have the power to do that, man. You see? When the vid came around, they had power to shut down the whole world. and they did it. What makes you think they can't do it again? Right? It says, yet thou art a man. They're only a man. They still, they die like men. And not God. It says, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thy understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches. They're a wise people. These aren't some just old men, that don't know nothing. They're just, slow and drooling from their lip. No, these men have power. These men know what's going on. The old men at that, Esau. All right, and they know who we are. They know who are the so-called blacks, so-called Latinos, Native Americans are. They know what the true people of the Holy Bible, right? By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic. What's that word traffic mean? Right? Merchandise, traffic, trade. And how are they trading? Through the waters, through the sea. Thou has increased thy riches, and thy heart is lifted up because of thy riches. So their heart, which is their mind, is lifted up because they have these riches. They have this great power. The power is given to them on the left-hand side to do these miracles, these false miracles at that. And speaking of false miracles, right, this is another one. This one also from Anton Headlines. It says, U.S. brain implant company tests apparent first in China. Cambridge-based Axoft is taking its brain implant tech on a very global tour. The Harvard-bred startup announced this week that it temporarily implanted its soft neural probe in a patient in Shanghai, while also closing a $55 million Series A funding round. The disclosure stands out since U.S. firms rarely talk publicly about human testing partnerships in China. The Massachusetts company said the round was led by CP Group Innovation and brings its total financing to more than $60 million. Axoft plans to use the cash to expand clinical trials and build out manufacturing capacity. In a company press release carried by Biospace, the firm spotlighted its soft fluorine material and said its implants have been used temporarily in 11 patients so far. So this is another of the false miracles, right? The C-hip is on its way. See? And we tell you about that. This is Revelation. Well, we should all know Revelation 13:16, right? And he calls of all, both small and great. All right, rich and poor, free and bond. It's not talking about nations. All right, it's talking about people, free and bond to receive a mark, charagma, in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay, nations don't have a forehead and a hand, right? And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, the RFID C-hip, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom, let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 666, which is 666. So this is one of the major prophecies that we're looking out for, and this is on its way. They're already doing it in Sweden. I'm pretty sure they're doing it in other places as well, but it's not mandatory. Soon it's going to be a mandatory thing, or if you don't take it, you won't be able to part of society. You won't be able to buy and sell, or they'll just off with your head. That's what's coming, man. Point blank, period. Oh, and I want to show you this video I got. Let's start with this one. I got this off TikTok.
I am one of the last of the cowboys. We are truly a dying breed of people.
And find out how ready our roads and our society are for this change.
Have we done a good job of addressing the policy questions that need to be answered in order to successfully develop this to maximize the benefits of it? I think absolutely not.
This tech is coming. I mean, it's here now. But is there a way to make it work for us instead of against us?
It's all happening right here. Buckle up. We're heading out. So right now we're just parked right across the first transfer hub from Aurora Innovation. This is where they're going to be launching the driverless trucks out of.
Aurora Innovation was started in 2017 by 3 Silicon Valley heavyweights. Chris Urmson, who previously led Google's self-driving car project that spun off into Waymo. Sterling Anderson, who led the development of the Tesla Autopilot and Model X. And Drew Bagnell, who worked on autonomous innovation at Uber. Aurora does not actually make trucks. They make what's called the Aurora Driver. It's a combination of software, like AI, machine learning, and training simulations, and hardware, like radar, LiDAR, and cameras, that work together to create and inform the Aurora Driver.
The Aurora Driver is going to be essential to our customers. It's going to allow them to build more revenue while having lower costs.
And they are not alone. Companies like Waabi, Plus AI, and Kodiak are all in the race to create driverless trucks. But Aurora...
So driverless trucks are coming. You see what we're talking about? They're speeding things up. Now that's an old video, I believe. I think that was like last year. But somebody re-uploaded that, But it still shows you that this is what's coming. Because they want you subject, because they don't want nobody working really. That's the goal for them. They want you as a slave. They want you to be subject to a 15-minute city where you're being surveilled. Watch the Hunger Games. This is what they put this stuff in the movies, but they gotta bring the chaos first. You gotta bring order out of chaos. Order out of chaos. They gotta create something for things to implement stuff like this. It's not gonna come up and do it. No, they gotta be gradual steps. Like the chip. The chip has to come into play gradually for safety, right? Right. This from the End Time Hell, the People's Voice. Pentagon secret project to merge soldiers and machines exposed. So they want to put transhumanism. See, merge man with machine. This is what it's all about. That's the sounds like the chip to me. So this is what they're coming with, man. The beast system is coming into play. Everything is coming into order, and they're moving quickly because they know they have a short time. They know that they're about to be out of rulership. So they're trying to extend it as long as possible. You see, but Llewellyn was edifying. You got something out of it. We gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash, and double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and citation for elect. Lord, so you're edified. Till next week, I'm going to say, Shalom.